Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's Star Report. This is Jason. Here I am at New Dimensions Crystals and Reiki in downtown Brenham, Texas. And this is the Star Report for May the 1st through, what is that, May the 7th? Let's see. What did I have? The last day that I talk about is May the 7th. Look at me go. I know what week it is and how to count 7 days. We always start with the sun. So let's jump right into that. The sun has been active. Imagine my surprise. The sun is only going to get more active, probably from here on out till it's not. But the things that have been going on have not been necessarily Earth elected. There's been a lot of flaring. None of them have really gotten into the X class rating, which is usually the higher intensities, and none of them have ejected any CMEs, coronal mass ejections, the things that come out of the sun towards the Earth during that time. There was a plasma filament release, which was wide, so it might be a glancing blow later on in the week. And the things to watch are an incoming coronal hole and some plasma filaments that are rather large that are Earth facing, that if they were to release would be definitely some solar storms, some cosmic weather, if not some satellite downage. Just a reminder in case you've not watched my report before, solar flaring is really going to be those sort of triggering events. If you're having any kind of mood disorders, those will trigger those, anxiety, depression, right? And they sort of just sort of flash in. So it'll be all of a sudden kind of energy. And then coronal holes are going to, and so even cardiac events can happen during that. And then coronal holes are going to be more of a pressure, not more of a jolt, but more of a squeeze. And so when the coronal hole comes in later this week, it'll sort of feel like a heaviness, right? Almost a stuckness, like you're going through mud or thickness. And then CMEs, when they do release or come towards the Earth, those are really going to cause probably technology interruptions more than increased mental or spiritual triggers. So look for that. For me this last week, Taurus, we are in the zodiac sign of Taurus, speaking of the sun, and Taurus is right here at the base of the skull, sort of the polyvagal nerve cluster slash occipital, right here at the base of the skull, is where that alchemically lines up in your physical body. So I know for me this last week, I had a lot of tension and one would call it neck pain, maybe headache that was going through that. Look for that to continue as the sun stays active and continues to put all of that energy through. And then we had Jupiter in the alignment in Taurus. Was that last week before? So that energy, of that intensity of all the power of the cosmos, definitely the solar system, is sort of pushing here at that last little spot. So if you're continually to have those kinds of tension, then that is to be expected, but don't give it to yourself. If you're feeling fine, then keep breathing and moving that energy through, which leads us into today, May the 1st. Welcome to May, everybody. And May the 1st, the stars is really influenced by Mars. Mars is a planet of action, planet sometimes of war. And so you want to look for, in addition to the solar stuff that's happening to you, sometimes Mars is like, go now, go now, go now, right? So that could be experienced as an anxiety. And the thing that it's probably really the most annoying is that you might be stuck in inaction and you don't know what to do, right? Like you feel this, like I need to be doing something, but you don't know what it is. And so that could be the energy of today, Wednesday. That's okay. Sometimes continually to be in the energy and observe yourself is doing something. So it's not that you need to find the next move or be acting on some kind of grand scheme. This will just help you alleviate the anxiety of Mars and the sun today, Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, which is going to be May the 2nd, we're going to move out of our retrograde free world, and Pluto is going to begin to go retrograde in Aquarius, right? So Aquarius, the Aquarian age, deep spirituality, the Great Awakening, all of those things about being more spiritual and having that energy flow into our lives. And then Pluto, the deep, dark, hidden parts of that, right? So, what Pluto is going to help you discover in the energy of Thursday is really how spiritual you've always been, and then spiritual synchronicities of how spiritual people around you have always been or caused you to be. And yeah, Pluto is just, that far out reaches. So the farther the planet out goes, really, it's the deeper inside of yourself. And so the hidden things, the things that haven't been spoken of, the things you couldn't name, the things you don't have vocabulary for. I remember when I started my main drive towards this in 2012, which was really when I just stepped on the gas pedal. It was really like I didn't have the vocabulary, but the longer you're in this, the more you look at yourself, you realize that you just didn't have the vocabulary, but the things that spiritual were going on for other people that were metaphysical or awakened were going on for you as well. You just didn't have the words for them. So look for that kind of energy of discovery that these spiritual things have always been true for you. And that's a good Thursday, right? It's let's see, the retrograde is starting Thursday into Friday. Everything takes what is it happening on the dot? No, it's a big huge solar system, but over the next 24 to 48 hours of Thursday into Friday, in that retrograde, Pluto is going to last 5 months. So that'll be until October before it goes direct again. So pay attention to that energy. It's here to stay. So these self discoveries that you've been a spiritual being with all of the gifts and talents of those that are probably on your video screen, pay attention to that and maybe even act on that. Remember the energy of I need to do something. Well, then Pluto goes retrograde and maybe you figure out what you've already been doing and how to do that more. Moves us into Friday, May the 3rd. And that's a weird word that I just wrote. I can't read my handwriting. Oh, there we go. I was like, what is that word? So on Friday, it's if you've been feeling overwhelmed or isolated by all of this energy, or like the energy has sort of left you depleted and not wanting to connect with people, then the energy of Friday is really the desire to be a part of a group, not necessarily a relationship. So this isn't like the remnants of a Mercury retrograde where you're trying to be in a partner relationship. This is more of you want to join a group, join a church, join an organizational kind of thing where there's lots of people, not just sort of one-on-one or small groups. So this isn't like a tiny yoga class. This is really a movement, right? And so that's Friday. That energy is going to be like that. So if you got spare time over the weekend and there's something you've been thinking of checking out, definitely on Friday, probably make plans to go see if that's the thing you want to be a part of. Or if you're just kind of like me and you really like the way you do things, maybe it's time for you to start a group that meets and that people could join in. Am I speaking? Am I preaching to the choir? I might be speaking to myself. We'll see how I feel on Friday. I'm not going to commit to anything right now. No, I'm not going to do it. That anxiety of inaction of Mars and Wednesday. Great job, Jason. Moving into Saturday the 4th. I'm giving myself some spiritual counseling while y'all are watching. May the 4th, Saturday, here in Brenham, Texas, will be the celebration of Mayfest, Maifest. Really, the energy of the day is to sort of extract yourself and look at things not with just the best point of view, but the highest point of view, right? What if you were indeed important to the narrative of the universe? What is the highest narrative, highest point of view of what's going on in your world, right? A lot of times we'll dismiss that. I'm unimportant. I don't have followers, yada, 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 that you don't matter in the grand scheme of the cosmos. But the energy of the day is really to sort of take that highest worldview of what's going on in your world. Also, culturally appropriate is May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. Anybody who likes Star Wars, right? And then the Force is really an undercurrent or a extraction of the universal principle that we are all of one force, of one substance. So good for that. And then just Mayfest is a Southern German tradition that is really about the ending of spring and the partnering of couples. Right, the old tradition was to go out into the woods and hunt for mushroom treats, and then come back after a few days in the woods to tell everybody what you discovered about yourself, maybe even find a life partner, and then to come in and celebrate that understanding and that epiphany by dancing around the maypole. So nice Mayfest stuff to go on Saturday. Leads us into Sunday, 5-5. Anytime there's a double number day, so it's the fifth month, the fifth day, so that's a 5-5, and that's a power day. Five is usually understood to be sort of Christ consciousness or Christ oriented, so that should be right along with that understanding of what's your point in the worldview, the cosmic view. How do you matter in the universal scheme of things? And this energy of Sunday is enforcing that. It's the 5-5 energy, and then it's also halfway between equinox and solstice, so marks a big shift in the energy, right? Anytime you sort of hit peak and then you go to the other side, it's kind of like a pendulum sort of moving, right? So that speeds us into summertime. Leads us into Monday, May the 6th, 5-6. And that is going to be what's happening on Monday is the peak of the Aquarids. Meteor showers, and when meteor showers happen and we have Aquarids, it's usually epiphanies, understandings, changes, quick flashes of things that come into our life. And so that's Monday the 6th. Obviously look towards Aquarius because they're the Aquarids. Leads us into Tuesday, 5-7. And May the 7th into May the 8th is the new moon. And so the energy of that Tuesday is really going to be do something for your physical body, right? So if you've got a day to maybe do a session here at the shop, go get a massage, start an exercise program, really change your diet, add something to your diet, try a new supplement. The energy of Tuesday is really all this cosmic stuff's happening. What can we do for the physical form or to embody that, as it were? Which is the last day of the week that we're going to talk about, but it is the beginning of a month, so we'll talk about the rest of May. Coming up in the month of May, we have May the 13th. We have the post shadow of Mercury retrograde ends, right? So May the 13th, day after my birthday, May 12th, Taurus here. The Mercury post shadow ends, right? So this is that 2.5 week period after the retrograde where we're sort of tying up things that had happened to us or things that we thought might be true about communication, travel, relationships, modes of travel, right? So if you've been thinking about a new car or your car is broken, blah, 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 maybe now is the time to sort of solve those situations about those. May the 23rd, full moon. Full moons are always good for cleansing and release. You want to put your crystals out or plan to put your crystals out, even if it is cloudy, into some place where if the moon were shining, it would shine on your crystals just to sort of cleanse those and charge them up. May the 25th, big day. Jupiter moves into Gemini. And we probably should be in Gemini by then. I believe that's the 21st of May. Gemini, the twin, is all about change or the ability to change. And so with Jupiter moving into Gemini on the 25th, that's really a day to sort of pay attention. If you've been looking to make a big move, a big change, trying to be a different kind of person, all those things, May the 25th is a day to sort of mark on the calendar that's go time. If you haven't gone by then, or if things have just sort of been stuck, that might be the day that things become unstuck. So pay attention to that. Jupiter into Gemini, that begins a 12-month jaunt into Gemini, and it's a process cycle. Cycle is a good word. It's a cycle that's been 12 years in the making, right? So just think about what have you been working on since, what is it, 12 years ago in the 24? So it's 2012, right? So what did you decide about the significance of 2012 that you've been working on for the last 12 years? And look for that kind of energy to be able to shift and change, or to it's kind of like when they talk about people that all of a sudden made it, right? That they were working for 10 years for it to all happen, right? So just sort of think, if you've been on the spiritual path and not much has really changed, or you sort of seem like you're not that powerful to yourself, or that you don't have as much understanding as others, then really sort of think, uh, hey, this last 12 years, this last decade, in 2 years, might be coming to fruition, where all of a sudden you have this wisdom that you've been working on, that you've been asking for, that arrives, or that becomes evident on the 25th of May. Leads us into May the 27th, which is the 22 Master Day, right? So all these energies always line up. If you decide, hey, this is what's been happening on the 25th, and 2 days later, there's this mastered energy to make decisions on it. That is also not only a 22 Master Day, but it is the 22nd, in the 22nd week of 2024, right? So you get that 2022 number of change, number of power, number of mastery. So May looks like a very important month. And when it's your birthday month, it's always a good time to have the energy working for you and not against you. Just a reminder, the 9th through the 17th, the shop will be closed for in-person stuff. I'll be out of pocket at a retreat. The third in the series, if you've been paying attention to the videos or coming in the shop, third in the series of the retreats that I've been doing. So coming to completion of that, looking forward to it. Yeah, fun times. I think that's everything. Of course, newdimensionscrystals.com if you want to book a session. If I'm here and it's available online, I should be able to still be here and available to do the session. So go ahead and look for that if you're looking to get into the shop and get a session. And I think that's everything, everybody. Until next week, many blessings.